Diddy. Hello, everyone. It's me. Sorry for the absence again. Just life getting in the way. It is what it is. And also just not having much to talk about until today. I told myself I wouldn't be talking about this stuff anymore, but we got some leaked footage from that cancelled Batgirl movie with Brendan Fraser as Firefly in it, which Michael Keaton, like it seems like when you talk about that, it seems like such a fever dream that was even a thing. But it was a thing, and it then wasn't a thing, and it still isn't a thing, but it thinged a little bit more than it did before. And what I mean by that is footage got leaked of a fight scene, and we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's just recap about where I sit with this movie and what I think about it, because everyone knows Batgirl is one of my favorite DC heroes. It's my favorite of the Bat family, specifically Barbara Gordon. I know, but it's okay. We're all allowed to have our favorites. That's mine. But with that being said, this movie was announced, and I went, eh. And then I saw footage, behind the scenes footage, and I went, eh. And then I saw a little bit more footage, and I read interviews with cast and crew, etc., and I went, ugh. And then the movie got cancelled, and I went, eh. And it kind of died out. And there were some people saying, oh, no, it shouldn't get cancelled, blah, blah, blah. And like, honestly, I'm in the camp of maybe it should have been cancelled. Like, there was a reason for it. And let's be honest, DC haven't done anything good since they released Zack Snyder's Justice League. And Black Adam. Black Adam was like the last watchable movie. I'm not saying it was a masterpiece. I'm saying it was, if 5 is in the middle and 10 is at the top and, 1 is terrible, it's somewhere above a 5. Which means it's watchable, more watchable than a Fast and Furious movie, a modern one. But like they haven't been doing good, and what they have coming out at the moment doesn't look any better. And obviously they were doing that big shake-up, and they decided not to go ahead with the movie, and it is what it is. I'd rather not have a Batgirl movie at all than a Batgirl movie that looked bad. But why are we talking about this again? That's right, back on track, circle around. It's because footage got leaked of a fight scene from the Batgirl movie that got cancelled. Now, why am I talking about this? Why do I care? One, Batgirl, favorite DC superhero, just is. I'm not going to go into that now. One of my first ever videos on this channel was me talking about Batgirl. I believe you can still see that one today if I didn't private it. It's from like 10 years ago. So this isn't new for me. But with that being said, Batgirl, favorite character, and it's a fight scene. And the cool thing about fight scenes in me is I fight. That's what I do. That's my happy place, is punching things and people. And so, that sort of gives me a certain level of qualification to talk about fight scenes. But on top of that as well, as part of martial arts, especially when you're younger, you do a lot of choreographed demonstrations to sort of promote the school and stuff at events, especially like not so much anymore. The industry's changed, but when like in the just like 15, 20 years ago, it wasn't uncommon for you to take the kids and do like these choreographed fights for the parents to watch, so they can see what they've been learning, etc. The adults don't really do it. In traditional martial arts, they generally just do forms, but it is definitely a thing. And sometimes you'll do these at like martial arts exhibits and stuff to sort of showcase your talents to the other martial artists. Like if you go to like a martial arts conference, which these things happen, where everyone sort of flies over and they do these big training camps together, you'll have like choreographed fights and stuff there too. So I've had a lot of experience choreographing, being in choreographed fights and being in real like fights and sparring, etc. Like that's me. That's what I do. That's what I love. Circling back again, this is a Batgirl fight scene. It ticks a lot of boxes for me, so I wanted to watch it. Now, I can't share the footage with you. They are being very, very laser focused on making sure this thing gets deleted from the internet, but if you know where to look, you'll find it relatively easily. It's out there still. I just can't put it here because the channel will get zapped like that. So, what did I think of it? I implore you all now, like, pause the video, go watch it and come back and then we'll discuss. And I'm going to compare it as well to a few other fight scenes. So go and watch the Batman vs Superman warehouse fight scene while you're at it, and go and watch like some fight scenes from shows like Warrior and Banshee, which are made by the same people, but that's probably why the fight scenes are good. And even go and compare it, like go watch an Arrow fight scene too, just for... Yeah, we'll bring that up too, because those fight scenes were terrible. I hate to break it to you guys, but most of them were. Stephen Amell had no flexibility and was way too stiff and just couldn't do what the stunt people probably wanted him to do. I don't know if it was him specifically or the costume he was wearing, but yeah, he's so stiff in those fight scenes that there's no power in it and there's no good movement in it. So this Batgirl fight scene, it's very reminiscent of sort of a, I hate to say it, but a Daredevil-esque, like the Raid sort of scene. She's in some sort of like abandoned building, getting like pushed through walls and running through walls, and there's like old splintered wood everywhere, etc. It's very much that vibe. And the thing that I noticed with it that I didn't like is it's when you're doing a fight scene and you don't know how to fight, it shows. A good fight scene, like the Batman vs Superman warehouse scene, is a great one for this. A lot of the scenes, they don't show Batman full body. A lot of the complicated scenes, it's waist up. They never show the feet, because fighting has footwork, and anyone who knows fighting knows footwork. So the second the footwork is bad, you're out of it. So that's an important thing to note. So when you watch that Batman Superman scene, the only real time they show you his feet is when they want you to see his feet. It's either when he's in a static position, like he's knelt on the ground, or it's in a scene where he's not actually walking or moving. Up until the end where he like rips the knife out of his shoulder, but that's a choreographed movement where he's meant to look mean and menacing, and it worked. That's a great example of a scene. And Warrior is another good example of this. These are guys who know martial arts, and a lot of Donnie Yen fight scenes are good for this too, where they understand the footwork and they know what they do, and it looks more believable. Yeah, like have a look at those and you'll see what I mean. Now, when we look at this Batgirl footage, there's a lot of footage here where it just looks like your little sister is mad at you because you've teased her too much, or, you know, she's got a friend over and you've been embarrassing her and now she's trying to show off. So she's going to try and beat up the older brother. And like, it has those vibes, and it's really upsetting. Well, not upsetting to see, but it's like, yeah, okay, that's why this movie was cancelled. Because we're talking about Batgirl here. Batgirl. Batgirl should know how to fight, and she's a hero. She should be heroic. And she doesn't come across as heroic. There's a scene where she gets like picked up by like the throat and walked through a wall, and she's just flailing her legs and like doesn't know what to do. And it's like, Batgirl should know what to do in that situation. And you could stylize it too, like, because it's Batgirl. You could have her do some crazy gymnastics where she like lifts her legs up and kicks them off the guy's like thighs or chest and does like a backflip, and like then like the feet go to the wall and she kicks off the wall like mid backflip and like does like a big Superman sort of punch. Like, you could have her doing cool stuff like that in that fight scene. But instead, it really looks like someone who doesn't know how to fight. Like I said, it looks like someone's little sister who's trying to show off in front of her friend and is making a fool out of herself. And it's like, it's really like annoying to see, and it makes me glad once again that this movie was cancelled, because so far I've seen no good reason for it not to be cancelled. other than like open media. If you want to think of it that way, like, you know, these things that are filmed and completed, at least let people look at them. Like someone worked on it. That's an argument that I can understand. Like someone did work on it. All these actors and stuff got paid for their time. Sure, they didn't get any box office or anything. But it's like the movie's done. Why not just throw it out there? But I guess DC and their parent companies are worried that it'll do too much damage to their brand. But like just throw it on like their own platform or something, like, and just, you know, don't advertise it and stuff, and just be like, yeah, this is a concept film that never came out. Like, let people know. And I think that'll be fine. But anyway, back to the fight scene. Yeah, it's just awkward and weird. And I don't know who choreographed it and why they made Batgirl look weak. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired of a lot of superhero stuff these days where they're trying to deconstruct the heroes and trying to humanize them too much and pull apart and make them look weak. We're seeing it a lot with Peter Parker, Spider-Man at the moment. We're seeing it with like the Peacemaker TV series. We saw a little bit of it in Black Adam, but not so much. And yeah, it's like, it's very weird to me. Like I'm kind of over that. I want to see the heroes go back to being heroic and being these godlike figures. And, you know, and maybe it's because I spent the week listening to a bunch of old 90s radio plays, both Batman, like I listened to Nightfall. I listened to the new HBO Max radio fictions they have going on, which is a whole nother video. We'll talk about that because that's worth talking about too. And I listened to the Spider-Man BBC Amazing Spider-Man from 1995 radio play. And like those reminded me of like how fun superheroes can be. And I feel like we've lost that now. And even like Sam Raimi Spider-Man, like sure, it's a bit dated and it's aged, but it's honestly a pinnacle of superhero media. I don't think any Spider-Man content has really managed to capture the fun element of Spider-Man since then. Like I'm an Amazing Spider-Man fanboy. I think Andrew Garfield was amazing. Like I think we should have got the third movie in that, but it still like didn't capture the bright comic book tone for that. I think is lost forever now. I don't think we'll ever get that 90s comic book vibe back of like, you know, Jim Lee X-Men era. Even that animated series they brought out last year, I think it was, like you can't fake it. And you could tell they were trying to fake it. Like it's, yeah. So I'm going off on a tangent now, but Batgirl fight scene, it leaked. It's out there if you want to watch it, but don't listen to all the people saying it's Daredevil-esque, etc. It's not on that level of Daredevil. Like even shows like Warrior and Banshee, when you look at how those guys fight and you compare it to this footage, it just doesn't compare. If you're going to have like a Batgirl movie, you need to have someone like an Amy Johnston take that mantle and do that. Because and there are plenty of other female stunt people. Amy Johnston's just the first one that came to mind. Because she can make those fights look good. And if you don't know who Amy Johnston is, just look up her stunt reels. They're great. Or watch Accident Man, the first one. She's great in that. And you'll quickly learn who she is, and then you'll be like, why isn't she in a Black Canary movie? And I don't know. I don't know why Amy Johnston is not in a Black Canary movie. And I'm just going to end it with that. Thanks for everything. Thanks for watching, guys and girls and everyone else in between. You know, if your pets are watching this too, meow and woof or squawk, whatever you've got. Let me know what pets you have. Don't tell me the names or anything. Just what species of pets you have. I'm curious if there's any interesting species out there. Have a nice evening and a good weekend, and I'll have more videos for you soon.